rock tunes on the radio. You wanna find trouble? Look my way. Bad news, hard looking here to stay. You're looking for trouble? I'm your man. Never gonna change. Be who I am. Whoa, ho, ho. Wanna find trouble? Look my way. Whoa, ho, ho. Bad news, hard looking here to stay. Whoa, ho, ho. Looking for trouble? I'm your man. Whoa, ho, ho.
Racing as a child was my getaway. It was my chi. It was my time to do and be whoever and whatever for nobody. I was very competitive growing up. I always wanted to jump the biggest thing. I always wanted to, you know, go the fastest. That's what motocross was more so to me, was my outlet to be able to express myself a lot more openly and in depth. It just was something that really, you know, spoke to me, to be able to just go out and do and be aggressive and be extreme and, you know, be outgoing. Being able to, you know, go out there and just turn the world off and just enjoy what you're doing at that moment, purely.
Look my way. Whoa, ho, ho. Bad news, hard looking here to stay. Whoa, ho, ho. Looking for trouble, I'm your man. Whoa, ho, ho.
And Jonathon in school, you know, we tried the baseball thing and some football, and he never was that interested in the group, you know, team sports. I took him to Calhoun one night to see how he would feel about, you know, motocross.
We sat there in the stands and we watched a whole race. He looked down at me and he said, "Son, is that something you think you'd like to do one day?" And I couldn't contain myself with excitement. That birthday is when the LEM showed up, and he really opened the door to a huge world, and just family that has stemmed from it has been amazing.
Jonathon got his first bike when he was 7, and I wasn't that excited about it at first. The first thing he did was jump on the bike, take off full speed, and hit a tree. So that was my first experience as a motocross mom.
We started small, you know, going to a local Calhoun race after, you know, practicing in the backyard for days and days. He trying to teach me different techniques. That he kind of let me kind of come into the rider by myself. And he always let me kind of be comfortable in how I was operating and what I was doing. But he was always just the best coach.
He knows now how much work you have to put into it. Not only just the riding work, but he knows how much it takes for bike prep, equipment prep. He knows what it means when you have to go to work all day and come home and get these things ready.
People say the time is money, and that's not right with me. Greed has poisoned us today, and it's time that we're set free.
I can remember the day specifically like it was yesterday. That was the first time that he passed me. You know, I was looking at him, just shaking my head, and I knew in my mind that, you know, he had just got faster than I was, and I really never caught him.
as I got older, I got different priorities at the time.
Jonathon took a little break for a while when he got a little older, probably, you know, 18 or so.
I kind of got more interested in, you know, trying to develop my social side with high school stuff. I pretty much raced until about 2008 was pretty much my last race. And then went to college, and you know, I tried to ride a couple times here and there, and then ended up selling my motorcycle at the time because I don't think I rode it in a year and a half by the time I sold it. I almost forgot what it was like to be on two wheels again. I had an itch, you know, I couldn't figure out what it was. You know, I lost it, you know, I had to get it back. Savannah our relationship was actually still, I mean, we had been together for a little bit, but it was still relatively fresh, you know.
He told me that he used to race motocross, and I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, what is that?
I was so excited to go to the first track I could think of.
You obviously haven't done this in 10 years, so be careful, just feel out the track, see how you're doing, you know.
Savannah was a little worried. She'd never seen me ride. She didn't know anything about it. You know, I was like, don't worry, babe, it's fine, I'm gonna take it easy. And by the second lap, I had hit everything out there, and she had panicked. It blew me away that I was so happy just to be out there again.
He eventually got to where he wanted to start racing again, and that's where it all kind of took off. Like, we went to, I think his first race was the Summer Classic a few years back, and that's where he got to race with his dad.
It's still one of my favorite races, and man, to be back on a gate again, it's so hard to describe to anybody. Just the most incredible deal where you're just lined up, you're about to go through this whole emotional roller coaster, and nothing else in the world even is a thing. It's just, let's wait, here we are, ready to rip, and it's boom, gates drop, let's go, wide open, everybody's bombing a corner, and we're all just all out for the same goal, and it's a whole nother world ensues at that moment, and it's one of the most pure, most incredible feelings I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. It's so hard to say, you know, put words to the feelings and the love that is created on two wheels, and I feel bad that some people don't ever get to experience that. At the end of that moto, all I wanted was more.
When he has a big race coming up, it's super nerve-wracking for me. It makes me super anxious. Just, you know, him getting ready, and then when he finally gets out on the track, it's like super tense until like the gate drop. He mentioned to me this big race called Loretta's, like Loretta Lynn's. And he told me it's like the biggest amateur race that you can go to. You know, that's where, you know, the big guys go, and then from there they just continue to progress. So when he started chasing this, I was all in. I was like, you know what, that sounds awesome. You should definitely do that.
With Loretta's being what it is, as the most prestigious amateur motocross event that you can be a part of, people have worked for years and years just to try to be a part of it. You have to first go to a qualifier in your region, which typically you have your top 9 riders from each qualifier move on to the regional. There's multiple regions. There's, you know, Southeast, Mideast, Midwest, Northwest, and out of those regionals, you got 42 of the fastest guys from each regional, or from each qualifier, lining up at the regional, and it's a no holds barred top 6. That's it. You know, you out of 42 people, you have to be in the top 6 in your region in order to make it to Loretta Lynn's ranch in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, and run the most prestigious amateur event. And to say you have to earn it, it's an understatement, at least in my opinion. Something like that is such a cool task, to just make it through the qualifier. I mean, these guys come out of the woodwork from all over the place in order to run the qualifier events, and I know this firsthand because, you know, come March, I had this fresh racer gung-ho feeling, and then I show up at Aonia Pass, and I was humbled pretty quick. What was it, 2021?
Stop making stupid mistakes. I'm my own worst enemy out there.
I didn't let it stop me. If anything, it frustrated me a little bit. You know, I've been doing great at all these local races. I feel like I had more to give, that I could actually be able to go forward, and maybe I could finally get my bib for the first time. I had like a new light and wanted to see if I could really do it and just prove more to myself. It's so tough, you know, when you already are tired, you know, now you have a second injury you're trying to deal with. I could have quit, you know, because it wasn't going to make any difference at that point, you know, with the finishes that I had. I was raised to never be a quitter. You know, you start something, you finish it. I wanted to finish. I went home, got some rest, wiped the slate clean, and came back and was like, all right, do something. You know, I put that boot on the next day, and it wasn't fun. Ended up though finishing 15th overall. It did end my journey to trying to qualify for Loretta's, of course.
He was so disappointed, and like, obviously I don't, you know, want him to be disappointed. You know, that's the last thing that I want. So it was kind of hard honestly for both of us. he was like, I'm just gonna try again harder next year. And since he's set that goal, like, he has progressed so far, just, you know, in the last year. He's doing so much better now than he was a year ago. Faster, he's just more aware of what's going on the track.
It definitely deflated my sails a little bit, but it didn't kill my vibe. I kind of brushed it off as much as I could, and I used it as ammo. As I knew next year was coming. I started all over basically coming into the 2022 series. Round 1 of the Best in Georgia series, we're back at it, and it just so happens to be Southeastern area qualifier for Loretta Lynn's at Aonia Pass MX. Once again, here we are.
So it wasn't the smoothest line through there, but he came through on the inside, double, double, double. I mean, if you hit that line smooth, it's fast. I mean, because you have to go so wide to hit the triple. Yeah, that's right. So I got the green gate. I normally go like, yeah, it's probably like 2 or 3 out. Carry that outside. It's gonna be a good day.
Not quite where I want to be, but it'll get me through. We gotta keep working. All the work, man. I died at the end there, started making weird mistakes. I know what to do.
Good girl.
Qualified.
At Lake Sugar Tree, I'm really looking forward to trying to put together the most consistent, solid starts, full motos, hit my marks.
Day 1 out here. Practice, learn the track, have a little fun. It's gonna be a battle, that's for sure.
Morning up here in Virginia. Day 1 of racing, Lake Sugar Tree. Had a good day of practice yesterday. Felt strong, felt comfortable, learned the track pretty well.
Just watched Open Pro Sport take off, trying to pick up a few lines. It's squirrely out there.
Moto 1 got off to a pretty solid start out of the hole. I think I was running, I mean, had to have been somewhere in the top 10. Lost a couple positions. I made sure to, put my head down and go to work. That's why I came there, and I pushed as hard as I could. They really hold a crazy pace at regionals. It is a whole another ball game than any kind of local event you can think of. It's a knockout, drag out. You can cut the tension with a knife.
Ready for Moto 1, 25 plus. Should be a little more rowdy. Should be a good time.
Made it through the first moto after an okay charge. I feel like I could have done a little bit better, but it was starting to get a little spooky. I mean, these guys just yard sale right in front of me. I mean, I actually had a guy eject right in front of me going into some rollers, and I almost ran him over. I almost killed like 3 people. You know, we got done with that evening. I cleaned up. I tried to brush it off and just keep looking towards the next day. You know, I still had some motos to finish. I still wanted to prove to myself that, you know, I still had some competition in me.
Last day in Virginia. Got a 14th yesterday and 25. Not exactly the best position to be in, but we will see.
Excited, I was ready, I felt more confident, I had a better understanding of the track now that I've had so many motos.
I feel good about the 30 moto. I know where I stand, which is a pretty far shot in contingents for making it this year, but at the same time, I'm going to go out in 30 class and let them know that I'm still here.
I wasn't quite mid-pack. I was still, you know, a little bit towards, you know, the upper half. Definitely not where I want to be. I mean, I was probably, you know, close to 20th, but that was, in my head, this is my last moto of the day.
That was funny. I'm loop, like, lost my whole headset trying to gas out of the last.
Even though I didn't get a good start, it was my favorite moto of the weekend. Just with the battles that I had with different riders, and I did learn a lot this weekend. Some really valuable lessons as far as certain things that I need to work on, but there's some very particular skill sets that I noticed I was making huge mistakes with. I'm definitely gonna take this next season, or the rest of this season, very seriously and focused on what I know I need to get done and what I need to train for next year, because I will get my ticket. It's definitely not going to be this year. I'm going to try like hell for next year. I can promise you that.
You know, the regional level is so tough. I want to see him, you know, get to Loretta's. He will get there, and he's going to try. He's going to keep going until he does. I know he is. His competition is not easy. You know, he's got his hands full, but he's got speed. He's fast. You know, you have to have a little bit of luck sometimes. You got to have a good start, and you know, he can run the pace. So I'm confident that he will make it. You know, we came up a little short this year, but he's learned a lot. And so, you know, moving forward, he's training right now for next year.
He still continues to persevere and just continue to, you know, learn from past mistakes. He's going to continue to get faster and continue to concentrate on what he needs to do. And definitely, I'm sure he's going to try it for it again next year.
It's really reopened my eyes again to, you know, you think you're some fast guy at these local races until you run into all the guys that are also in the same scenario, and they all have qualified in their areas, just to all meet up with this one regional. It is a really humbling experience if you're not prepared. The level of competition that runs through Loretta's is, I mean, it's unmatched. It says a lot about the importance and just the competition, the environment, and the presence that Loretta Lynx holds for the motocross industry and community. And it's unlike any other, and it'll be on my wall one day.